What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. Alright, so in this one here, we're going to be taking a look at Swordmaster, another one of the new characters that's going to be released in this update here. And this is still, yes, on the test account or the pre-update build, so it is still subject to change. So there could still be minor variations from what you see here to what you actually get to play with in the live server. So maybe some of the damage numbers and multipliers could still be changed around, so do keep that in mind. So I just wanted to mention that, get that out of the way. And also this video is brought to you by Netmarble and the Star Agents program. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop right in here and look at Swordmaster. So let's take a look first at, well, the gear's already at 20 because they gave him to me at level 70. So yes, keep that in mind. He is level 70, not level 60. Now let's take a look at the skills here. So we'll start off with his tier 2 passive. It is a 50% chance to penetrate barrier and shield. You get super armor, all defense, and increased skill damage by 25%, bonus damage by 45%. Excuse me, so pretty nice right there. I really like having super armor on characters because then I don't have to worry too much about getting a guard break immunity obelisk on them. The first skill right here, we just have some bleed damage. The second skill right here, again, some bleed damage. Then the third skill, we have some damage immunity, which is really nice, and also a buff to our all attack, all defense, and all speed. The all defense and all speed are only 1%, so nothing to really kind of calculate into your build there. It's just a little extra. But the all attack 20%, that's nice. And then we have a different kind of passive here, which is pretty cool. It's whenever he's attacking, he gets all attack 22%, all speed 1%, and crit rate by 22%. It lasts for 3 seconds and it's on a 2-second cooldown. So basically, as long as you are attacking, you are going to have this buff up, which is pretty cool. I mean, I guess they could have maybe built it in another way, but yeah, just having that flat attack right there is pretty cool for the passive. The fourth skill right here, it has all defense down, which is really nice. It does apply to world bosses, as you can see right there, ignores immunity, and it stacks up to 45%, so not too bad. And then the fifth skill has just invincibility on it. And what's really nice about Swordmaster here is the fourth skill is probably the skill you're going to want to have your damage proc on, and it is on a 14-second cooldown, so that is awesome. You can keep that reliably on your rotation. And the fifth skill right here is the only one that is longer than the kind of damage proc rotation with a 16-second cooldown. But the fifth skill, as we will see in a minute here, isn't really as good as the fourth skill in terms of having your damage proc on. He's kind of rooted in place and he's not able to move around very much. And since he is a physical damage dealer, as you can see here, he's going to be used a lot in Proxima, and Proxima jumps around a lot, so you really don't want a character to be rooted in place during a skill when you're fighting Proxima. So yeah, the fifth skill is pretty much just for that invincibility, kind of stall out for your rotation to help keep him alive. The ISO 8 set I have on him is Power the Angry Hulk, and then the obelisk we're trying out right now is a Ctp of Energy. I tried him with a Ctp of Energy and a Ctp of Rage because right now I'm trying to just compare the two CTPs because Energy and Rage are two of the more popular ones, but I don't really have that luxury on my main account because I'm not swimming in CTPs. So on here on the test accounts, I'm taking advantage of that, and I'm trying them out with CTPs of Energy and Rage to see if one of them really outshines the other kind of thing, or if he's just a character that you can get away with putting a regular obelisk on him. And spoiler alert, I do think he is a character that can just be really good with a regular obelisk, that you're not going to see huge jumps in his performance with a CTP of Energy or a CTP of Rage, and that mainly has to do with he doesn't have very many hits on his skills, so he kind of has that kitty pride problem where his skills may do a nice chunk of damage, but they don't have very many hits on them. So let's just go ahead and hop over to World Boss Ultimate so I can show you his skills in action and give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Alright, so here we are over at Proxima. I'm going to be taking him against stage 36, pretty much the high stage I can get to right now on the test account. We're not really looking to clear it, I'm just looking to kind of show off his skills and a little bit of his damage. We're going to use this team here. We have Crescent for her leadership, that's 60% physical attack, and then we have Shuri there for her tier 2 passive and the little bit of extra survivability. But Swordmaster here, and also I did forget to mention it in my arrow video, but both of them do have the leadership tag, so you can use White Fox as a support for them if you wanted to. But for this right here, I'm just going to be using this team, and we're not going to be using any strikers because I want to show off his damage by himself and also his survivability without having the mind control strikers in, so you can kind of get an idea of where he lies compared to other combat types. And he actually does pretty good. So we're trying to proc on the 4th skill right here. We got that to proc right away. And then I go right into the 3rd skill for the damage immunity. And then you can see right there, the one has a very delayed iframe. I didn't really mean to do that. Has a very delayed iframe, so you can actually take advantage of that because that's right when your damage immunity is wearing off, and then you go into the 4th skill. But as you can see from the don't want to get hit there. From the lack of hits on the 4th skill, sometimes that gets you in trouble in terms of your damage proc. So try it again. There we go. And then I use the 3rd skill, 2nd skill, dash in, and then use the 1st skill right away, get into that iframe, and then your 4th skill is going to be off of cooldown. And then every other rotation, I just use the 5th skill instead. Then I use the 2nd skill, and then back into the 4th skill like that. And then I repeat with the 3, 2, and 1. So he is pretty safe. He has very, very small gaps, if you can notice that, between the skills where you can actually get hit. So you do have to be pretty tight on your timing here and make sure you do actually have max skill cooldown on him, which I should have max skill cooldown. I messed up the rotation right there. For some reason, doing like alternating rotations doesn't seem to sit right in my brain. I'm always like, okay, which rotation am I doing right now? So as soon as I see the 5th skill, I'm like, oh, let's hit the 5th skill, when that's not what I want to do. But anyway, so now that I've kind of showed the rotation a little bit, let's see how much damage he does in a minute here with this CTP of energy. And then we're going to go ahead and take that off, and we're going to see how much damage he does in a minute with the CTP of Rage. So you get a little bit of a comparison there. All right, so let's switch on over. Going right here, we got a little late on our proc. I've already messed up the rotation because now I'm actually trying to get the damage proc to line up properly. So that's usually how it goes. Do that, and then proc's going to run away from us. And then, yeah, our damage proc already gets off. And like I said, that's just because he has such a few amount of hits on his skills. If he had more hits, it'd be a lot easier to trigger your damage proc. So let that kind of fade out. There we go. Let's get our damage proc lined up again and try one more time here. Do that to get the immunity up. I think I missed that one. So we missed a lot of damage procs here, so I might want to retry this actually. Because we only got like a bar and a tiny bit. Yeah, let's try that one more time. All right, round 2 here. Let's see if we can get our damage proc to be a little bit more cooperative. But I mean, that's kind of real world situation right there. Because of the lack of hits, it is kind of difficult to be consistent with the damage proc on the skill that you want to land it on. Okay, yeah, the damage proc is a little bit off again. What? Didn't we have our immunity up? What did we get hit by? There we go. That's better. Alright. I'm just going to do that. Pop that for the immunity. Which is a little far away, so that's one thing that I don't like about those skills where you have to be really close to the target, is when Proxima dashes away like that, all of a sudden you just can't cast the skill or can't cancel out of the skill because she's too far away for your targeting, so it gets a little bit annoying. But I mean, it's not anything that's going to really make you hate playing the character. Just something that you have to keep in mind here. So, oh, we went past the minute by a little bit. So pretty much we're at the start of the 12th bar or into the 13th bar. So that's kind of what I usually see with the CTP of energy here. So now let's go ahead and hop over to a CTP of rage and see how much of a difference there actually is. Alright, so we are back now with the Ctp of Rage, and like I mentioned in my arrow video, remember that I don't have all of the stats maxed out on this account, so I don't have really high... Where are you going, Crescent? You just randomly ran in and did a skill without me even pushing a button. I don't have max crit rate, and I don't have max dodge. So do keep that in mind for this here, but let's see what we can do with that in mind. So right now, I basically just want to do a skill rotation that keeps him alive, because our rage proc is, I mean, we don't have to worry about too much where the rage is procking, just as long as we're getting our 4th skill to go off during the time that the rage is activated. It would be ideal, but right there, we're missing it. Not really procking, but like I said, we are a little bit low on the crit rate. Well, actually, no, we shouldn't be that low, should we? Because he has the crit rate buff from his 4-star passive that was like 25% or something like that. So it shouldn't be that bad. Okay, so there we go. So we are a little bit into the 12th bar again. Very, very similar to what we saw before. So like I'd mentioned earlier, he doesn't seem to benefit too much from a Ctp of Rage versus a Ctp of Energy. And even a Ctp of Energy isn't going to be anything recommended for him, because as I kept mentioning throughout this video here, he doesn't have a lot of hits on his skills, so you don't really take advantage of that chain hit damage on the Ctp of Energy, and he has super armor on his tier 2 passive, so he really is a character you can just put a regular damage proc obelisk on if you want to use him as a DPS. So if you want to use him with a damage proc. Besides that, you might even use him with just like an invincibility obelisk on him or something like that. Don't know how annoying he'll be in PvP. It doesn't seem like his skill set really suits PvP, so I really think he is a PvE character. He does decent enough damage because this is a stage 36 with no strikers, but this is on the test build, so I don't really have a good idea of how much damage that really is, because I'm used to the damage numbers on my own account, so I don't really have a good barometer of if that's high damage or low damage based on what I'm seeing on this account here. So I'd have to wait till I get him on my account to really give you a better idea. But my initial thoughts on him are he's kind of just middle of the road in terms of damage, and he does have good survivability if you can stick to that skill rotation that I kept messing up a little bit, because the 3rd skill gives you a long enough immunity, like I said, to get into the 1st skill, so that the iframe at the very, very end of the 1st skill gets your 4th skill off of cooldown, and then you can sprinkle in the 5th skill every other rotation if you want for that invincibility. So he does have good survivability, but besides that, I'm not seeing tremendous damage here. I think he just has good damage. So overall, he looks like probably the average character of the update, but I haven't checked out Dr. Voodoo yet at the time of recording this, so I don't know what Dr. Voodoo is going to look like, so he's going to be next on my list to take a look at. But so far, we have Arrow. That looks amazing to me. I really do like Arrow. Then we have Swordmaster here. That just looks kind of average to me in terms of characters. He is a combat type. And if I went to look to try to see how to rank him up, it just says find him in the shop, which I'm not really sure what that means. Usually when it says find him in the shop, they are just a regular bio selector character. So he might be just a regular bio selector character. So, you know, your selectors from Shadowland and stuff like that could get him, but don't quote me on that because I do not know that for sure. That is just me guessing based off the tab that said find him in the shop. But anyway, that's going to be it for my first look at Swordmaster here. Let me know what you think of him, if he looks impressive to you, if he looks underwhelming to you, if you think they should change a few things, because right now, just a little bit disappointed in the amount of hits to trigger the obelisk, and I'm a little disappointed in the overall damage, so both of those kind of go hand in hand. If you had more hits, of course, that'd be more damage, so I don't think they really need to change any skill animations, but maybe a few more hits on them would be welcome. But that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.